Okay, so Mr. Paul, you asked, can you break down what you mean by optimizing sending segments? I know building segments, but I'm not sure how you optimize them further. So let's make it very clear what optimizing means. Okay, here's a textbook definition right here: rearrange or rewrite to improve efficiency of processing. The key word is improve efficiency. Okay, so let's break that down. Let's go. Here's this product launch email. These bars represent the revenue and other metrics according to the performance of each segment, right? So we sent to a bunch of different segments. You could even call this a segment test. As you can see here, all-time buyers engaged last 30 was the second most performing, meaning people who've bought over all time and they haven't engaged with us at all in the last like month or so. What's kind of interesting to note here, by the way, if you go to revenue per recipient, engage last 60, no overlap. And no overlap means that there's an exclusion between 30 and 60. So engage last 60 days is excluded from 30. It has actually the highest RPR, yet it's the third most in revenue. It didn't really make that much money. This product launch email we decided to send to all-time buyers unengaged because we figured that if people are not interested in buying from us anymore, that means they've tried all our products, so they're tired of us. So we decided to send them the product launch campaign. These people weren't included in the engaged email list at all. And usually when you're sending, emails, you're sending to like a normal sending segment of an engaged list. So we took learnings from this, and now we can make our product launches more efficient. And by efficient, I mean make more money by sending to the most amount of people possible without hurting deliverability. By sending to people who are unengaged, we can now do more unengaged tests with further product launches from here. Secondly, if you want to think about optimizing and efficiency, it's not enough to say, hey, client, we're going to broaden your sending engage list from 30 to 60 to 90, 120, whatever engage list you're building, and then just show them a couple of emails and say, hey, open rates aren't affected or hurt. You can go here using our tool and you can actually look and see if there is any damage being done by broadening the list. So you can be a lot more granular on your segment tests. So when I talk about optimizing sending segments, I'm saying you can't really do that in an optimized fashion with Klaviyo. There's little to no data. You can do a variety of different tests from engagement and purchase metrics to find the most valuable sending segments to send emails to. I think I really want to answer this question in like totality and like make it very clear what I mean by optimize, right? Because the way people think about optimizing and statistical significance is like, let's do a split test. But if you're split testing an abandoned checkout email with 3,000 deliveries and you're doing a subject line and then your winning metric is like open or click rate, how much incremental revenue did you even add for your client? Like $50. You made 2% more on the open, but what does that really result in? It's kind of hard because you have a small sample size and you're not using the right metrics, right? I think if you think about optimizing a retention strategy, you want to look at the segments that you're sending people to. But it's really hard to gather that data because Klaviyo makes it really difficult to see the performance. And so we built this tool with my agency in mind, with your agency in mind, and we say, hey, what segments are you currently sending to? Let's see like the overall performance and say like, let's go to hyper engaged last 30 and do a segment breakdown. We can see now the last 2 years of what's been going on with this segment. If you're auditing a client or you're switching ESPs, you have to warm up a sending domain, you can see like, hey, are these campaigns like getting better on open rates, getting worse? You can either look, you look at the flow open rate overall time on our tool, or you can look at your sending segments too, and you can really understand the performance. You can get a breakdown of the table as well, and this shows every single campaign that was sent to that segment. There's a lot of data you can gather for. You can make a lot of notes, and you can send just campaigns to a bunch of different segments and just throw shit against the wall and see what hits. Okay. Or you can work in a more efficient manner and decide, hey, these segments in theory should do best with these campaigns, but I need to test it. Hey, we need to broaden our sending segments because we want to send to more people without sacrificing deliverability so we can make our client more money. So you can layer in different segments. If you're just sending to a 90-day engaged list open click, what about people who the last 90 days have signed up and never opened or clicked an email or bought? Those people are not included in your engaged list. So when you think about optimizing sending segments, if you're sending newsletter or normal campaigns every week to the same sending segment, you're leaving money on the table for these other active profiles or even suppressed profiles who are dormant. But with the right campaign and targeting and messaging and the tracking of the performance of it, you can decide to include these people or exclude them, or wait as you see the data come in from specific types of sales, product launches, or campaigns, what the best type of campaign is or should be sent to these people. And it's an ongoing process that you can optimize or make efficient over time through using our tool that you really couldn't do before. So I hope that answers your question.